was talking to myself.
Really?
I said to myself, you're going to die. At the end of your life, you're going to die. It just freezes.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, man, you got to help me. I'm bleeding to death.
You should have been the one in shock, and now he's the one in shock. Yeah.
We're getting ready to have one of the most important meetings we could have owning an RV park right out of the box. And that is
Design plans with an engineer.
for septic systems and other things here.
Yeah, you're on the septic thing because I know, but
It's
I'm like,
so important.
it's so important. And I know that, but I'm like, okay, you deal with that. I got other things to fry.
Listen, yeah, there's lots of frying things at an RV park. But welcome to Switch It Up. We have, we're going to see how we can spend thousands of dollars today.
I think it's more along hundreds of thousands.
A man and a woman left their home to switch things up and go on the road. They didn't know where they would go, but it's gotta be better than staying home. They switched it up. They switched it up.
So, the gentleman we're meeting today was the original engineer for
These plans.
of those plans when they built the park 11 years ago.
So how great that we found him.
Yeah, because he is retired now, and he has an amazing story, so hopefully he'll share some of
I
that.
think he's still working.
Well, you're never done, like you retire but never retire.
No,
He's
I think
doing,
he has an engineering firm.
well, I know that.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, it wasn't like
So how's he
as
retired?
big. Well, he's still working.
Great, that means you're not retired.
So we're trying to figure out today on how to, as we expand the park and we have a lot of you come to join us and we get to full capacities and we start having events in this barn, making sure all the bones work, everything here works
All
properly.
the bones.
The bones, and then all the other stuff that Sheila has in her head, how we do those expansion items to fit into it.
Mr. George? Hi.
Good.
Good. I'm Sheila. This is Todd.
I'm Todd.
Nice
Fun stuff.
Nice to meet you. Good morning, y'all.
Hi.
Hey, good morning. Wayne Johnson.
That's right. He bought from Clifton.
Yeah, he bought it from.
Yeah, one of the things
Okay.
You know what I mean? If you want to
we
get in
designed
there,
the
back door
sanitation
usually
system.
open.
Okay.
We didn't envision all of this. But
Okay.
Yeah.
that was not part of the whole deal, so that's one of the problems.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it'd be good thing for us to kind of talk through.
Especially the big building over there. You know, you got 100 people coming in.
Yeah. Granted, there's only 2 bathrooms in there, but still, right? It's still 100 people, 200 people.
Well, you got a big printer to print that thing off.
Yeah, I've got a
Well, he's official. He's an official. Engineers don't do things small.
put a Google.
This corner here, and then there's a parcel right here as well
Okay.
that will be taken a look at.
Small one over here, though.
Yep, small one here, and then whatever this triangle is.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. What in the world does this line mean?
That's a contour line.
Okay.
That's a line of 210 foot above sea level. And it falls to 5 here, so it's falling 5 feet here, another 5 feet here.
Okay.
And it flattens on that down here.
So these were the originals.
Yeah, that's the original set right there.
So
100 years ago.
yeah. So here, none of those buildings were here.
No, they would not do.
Well, there's a beauty in having a area where there's not as many restrictions, but then that also comes into there's a disadvantage when an area doesn't have to have, when you don't have to have everything stamped before you build it, that causes problems later on.
One of the big deals is trying to satisfy the bureaucrats in Florida. Up here, there aren't any.
Yeah.
Right.
And I had to go full commission on this thing because they didn't know anything about RV parks. They thought we was building a subdivision. I had to go full commission and say, we're not building a subdivision. Nobody's going to buy any land up here.
So that was in 2012.
Yeah.
To my understanding, the way this is working, all these RV parks, the water flows in and it flows all the way down into this. And then once it does that, it pumps back up to the fields, correct?
Yeah, right, yeah.
Okay. And so each one of these has specific rows that this is all working on.
Right. And this one seems to be the one that was giving the most problem.
Well, it's because what's happening,
Probably because
it's filling up with water. I think it's not sealed on the top, so when it rains really hard,
Will it?
yep, the water's getting into it, and then they're having to pump it out.
We'll fix that. Yeah, we'll fix that.
So that's the main thing we have to figure out is how to keep this one from filling up with water. Then the next thing I have a question on when we were talking on the phone was we talked about doing that equalization tank.
Yeah.
So if we did an equalization tank and then had the panel to basically shift to each one of the fields, the dosing on that would go a long ways then, correct?
Yeah.
Would help?
Yeah, you could have a system that would do that. It would do a valve changer, you know, that would
Right.
change the valve direction, you know. You could distribute it based on every other pumping or however it might be best. These don't seem to be the problem. This one.
This one is because I think it's got all of these, this and
Yeah, right.
the showers, the toilets, and now the 2 toilets into the
Yeah.
other thing.
Yeah.
So if we could,
You got to distribute it. You got to get it somehow. You got to distribute it, and I think that's the thing you can do. You could dose that into these tanks,
mhm.
you know, directly into the toilet. This one cycle, this one next cycle, and this one next cycle, this one the last cycle.
The question becomes, do we need another field? And where can we put this field? So that when we do have this part completely full, that for the event center,
Yeah.
that if we have the equalization tank, it can go into there to handle the onslaught of everyone leaving if they all leave at once, and then douse out. But I don't know if we need to do the additional field to help relieve these fields.
Well, I think I would try the equalization tank and the even distribution first.
Okay.
These are not giving a problem.
Not that I'm aware of.
So-
We're gonna ask if this is having any issues, but I think the only issue is filling up with water when it rains.
But somebody got to pull that lid and seal that tank,
Okay.
unless it's got a hole in it or something.
Okay.
You know.
Best time to see what they're talking about is during a really high rain event, and we have just got it. Like this is you can see the water running. We had so far about probably 2 inches of rain, deluge. So I wanted to come out and check. Just water around the sites. And you see how low this is? Water seeping in because it soaks up and they're draining into these. So we have to raise them all up. So Kermit was talking about had to check in a high rain event how bad it was going to be. Well, let me show you. So like this site, see that collar? It's all broken. See how deep the water is? And this one's almost underwater. Site 1, the main one, which is over here. I'll go check it real quick. Good soaking rain is a good test to everything. So this one is the one that is having the issues. And that isn't even bad. Look at that. So this is the one, this is the number 1. You can see how much water we have running. So we sealed up a bunch of these drains because they were underwater. I'll try to show you one real quick. So all the water runs from the top of the park at an angle past the first mound into these first. So we had to raise these up. See how the water, these used to be pouring in. Well, this one we raised up. Look at that. That used to be like a sink drain where all this water would congregate right here and just go down that drain. So now that we've sealed this up, it's pretty significant. Oh man, that's deep. That's real deep. So, and then this one was the same down here. So what's getting ready to happen is where we're rocking all this. And this will make all that water drain off, and then we'll put in a couple drains here that will funnel out to the rock to go down to the water. So it will help a lot. But now we literally just 2 days ago raised that up. I'm glad we did, because all this water was flowing into that tank and flooding it. Oh, it makes me feel so much better, because that also means we've just saved thousands of dollars. Thousands and thousands of dollars. So it just shows you that this is fixable once we get this all rocked and diverting water the way it needs to. So I'm glad for this heavy rain. Super glad.
Well, question that I have is, we need to also think with a little bit of the end in mind. If I'm wanting to put cabins out here, then we're going to need additional septic anyway, right? If we're going to put, say, 4 or 5 additional cabins, do we?
Well, he had in the original plans the 2, so you're adding, you're adding 3 more cabins.
Here, and then some sort of area here where we'll probably do like hangout area, possibly like a food truck or that sort of thing. I just want to, if we're going to have to do something with the septic, we might as well do it knowing what's coming.
Yeah, sure.
If we can plan it that way.
We have a couple options for another drain field like this that we wanted to show you and see what your thoughts are. One of them would be up here towards the front.
Yeah.
Or where these cabins are, right?
Or where the cabins are, yeah.
And move these.
Well, the further up the hill we get, the better it's going to be, I can tell you.
Okay.
You know, the lower we get, the further we go down, the higher the water table. The soil maps are relatively accurate.
Okay.
Relatively.
Okay.
You know, if it says it's bad, then you need to look at it carefully. If it says it's good, then you go ahead. I mean, but we know that we've got a high water table, and that's the problem. It doesn't seem to be a percolation problem. One of the things we need to do is get the water records for this thing.
Okay.
To see what the water record functions are
Let me see if
over
Brody's.
the months.
Well, the water records are not high because it's only been operating at 40% capacity. Our problem is we're going to start operating at 100% capacity because we're going to do events.
Yeah, right.
That's where we're going to, and I just see that as the issue we're wanting to avoid.
We still need to get that though. 'Cause we can play. Stormwater is one of the big issues, especially in things like this where you don't have curb and gutter. You don't have a way to intercept stormwater easily.
Right.
So what I always do is collect it. Let it all flow to a certain place, and then collect it or let it flow into a larger basin where everything just flows into it. Because not everybody's gonna dump the same day.
No.
You know, so you got a sort of random thing there.
The only time it would be a push is having an event and 50% of the park's leaving that day.
Yeah.
So they're all pulling their tanks that day.
Yeah.
That's the only time you have that huge push. Yeah.
Oh, there's alligators in this water. And I said, well, let me look. So I just did a quick Google search to see if there'd ever been an alligator instance.
And I came up.
Well, I didn't know that it was you. I just told him, I said in 1980 something, what year was it?
86.
Said in 1986, somebody lost their arm. And then when I'm looking for an engineer and we call you and we're on the phone and you said, I'm just a one-armed guy out here.
It was
I'm
pretty.
like, what?
It was pretty funny.
I said, was that the same guy? And sure enough, you were the guy.
So we found your testimony.
Did you? Okay.
We found your So we do YouTube stuff. So because we record everything, especially when we're doing the project, so we can go back and look and stuff. But we found your YouTube. You did an interview about 4 years ago on a podcast.
Okay.
Where you shared your story about going out on a bicycle.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, that was crazy.
Yeah, it was.
Did your dog not want to go in the water?
She went in the water.
She went in the water.
First. And I wasn't going to go in the water. I was on a mission that day.
I know, you were mad at God.
Well, I was mad at everything. I was broke and broke.
How old were you?
42.
In 86? Really?
That was around a long time. In fact, I'm broke this story up. That's the Alligator, actually. He's in the museum in Anderson, Alabama.
No way.
The alligator's in a museum?
Yeah.
Why?
He's so big that they got a museum of natural history up there. They got elephants and all kind of stuff.
Really? We're going to have to go see this alligator.
So they mined the alligator, and I went back and took the picture with him. That's the same story.
Yeah, this was your testimony too.
Right, yeah.
Because you were mad. I remember listening. You were mad.
Well,
Just life.
I was really in a desperate situation because I was broke and working. I worked at 2 jobs. And I was wearing out. I call this God's plan B for me.
Yeah.
I was sitting on my bicycle that day and the dog was in the water. I wasn't going to the water. I had to get in the water.
Why'd you have to get in the water?
I was just drawn to the water.
Okay.
I couldn't help it. And I was hot, of course,
Right.
like the dog, but I wasn't going to get in the water. But suddenly I had to get in the water. It was like it was destiny for me. You can keep that.
Oh, thank you.
And so I got in the water with the dog, and the dog got out of the water, and I backed up in deep water. And spread my arms out, and I was just dawdling around the water when this thing came behind. I was sorry that day. And suddenly I was plunged under the water with this alligator. I knew it was an alligator. And suddenly, this is the second strange thing. Suddenly, I wasn't there. I was talking to myself.
Really?
I said to myself, "You're gonna die. It's the end of your life. You're gonna die." And then the next conscious thought I had, I was standing in deep water, and I wasn't dead. And I was almost overwhelmed. I said, "I'm not dead. I'm alive. I'm really alive." And I stood there screaming, "I'm alive. I'm not dead. I'm alive." And then after I got through being alive, I thought, I got to be hurt. I know I got to be hurt. I didn't feel anything.
Right.
So I looked over my left side, I was okay. Looked over my right side, my arm was gone. So there I was, 7 o'clock in the morning. On my bicycle.
It was that early in the morning? I didn't hear that part of the story, how early it was.
It was early. Nobody was around. Well, but anyway, so the adrenaline hit me, when I knew my peril. And I started screaming as loud as I could, backing out of the water. I saw a boat out of the water. So I was fishing out there.
This is crazy part.
So then I got out of the water and got up on the bank, I was waiting on the boatman. And I waited because time didn't mean anything to me, time.
Right.
So he didn't show up very quickly, so I set up to see where he was. He's going away from me. And so I didn't know if he heard me or not, so I laid back down in quiet desperation, just said, I guess I'm going to die. And, and the strange thing about it was I wasn't praying, I wasn't asking. I was so far from God, it wasn't even my equation. It was all about survival, but I didn't think I was going to make it. So, and my dog was a big Doberman, and so when she started barking loud and aggressive on my left side, I rolled over to see what it was, and it was a guy got out of the boat, and she wouldn't let him come to me.
Oh.
So now the dog's got my manheld up, so I'm calling
Right.
the dog. I finally get the dog over there. The old guy gets over there, looks down at me. He said, "Man, you're in bad shape." I said, "Yeah, I'm dying. I'm bleeding to death. Please help me." And he just freezes. And
Yeah.
I'm saying, "Man, you gotta help me. I'm bleeding to death."
You should have been the one in shock, and now he's the one
Now
in
he's in
shock.
shock.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, this guy knows what to do. I got to know what to do. What would I do if I was him? And so I said, okay, Boy Scouts. Going back to Boy Scouts. So tourniquet's the first thing you think about. So I looked over and I knew I didn't have enough arm for that. So that wouldn't work. So now I thought about pinching the artery. He probably wasn't an artery pincher either. So So my next option was a compress. So I looked up and saw his shirt.
We don't work here.
You don't work here. Okay.
And saw his shirt. And,
He's outside there.
so take off your shirt and water that hole in the shoulder. Try to stop the bleeding. He did. He fell over his shirt. So we were pretty close together. And this is when a miracle took place. Because I don't ever remember thinking about what happened next. It did not come from me. And spontaneously, I looked at his face, and just like something swept through me. And I said, "Mister, you're a Christian?" He said, "I am." I said, "Well, pray for me because I'm dying. And I want to get right with the Lord before I die." And then I went out. And then when I came back to my senses, well, when I was out, when I went out, I went into this, I was wearing myself and nothing around me.
Huh.
And I was at total peace. It was so peaceful that I said to myself, maybe I'm dead. Maybe I've died. This is what it is when you die. And it was okay. I was okay with that. And, but I don't understand any of that. But anyway, when I came back to my senses, however it was, the folks had gotten over there and they were standing around me in a circle, discussing what to do with me. And so I listened I was coherent, I was stronger. And so I said, "What are y'all going to do with me?" And they said, "Well, we're not quite sure, blah, blah, blah." I said, "Well, how did you get out of here?" They said, "On a truck." I said, "Well, put me in the truck and take me to the hospital."
That's so crazy. You had to tell them to take you to the hospital. Like that was
So they backed the truck down and put me in the bed of the truck. The back of the truck was the old guy with his shirt. So my EMT was the guy with his shirt, and my ambulance was the back of the pickup truck. And so they were coming up here wide open. That's probably the most dangerous part of the trip, was going to the hospital.
Right.
So when we got to the hospital, they expected bad things. But I was so stable that they put me in the ambulance within an hour and took me to Mobile.
Wow. Oh, wow.
I never lost consciousness again. I came back when I looked.
I'm surprised you didn't lose enough blood. Like, I'm surprised.
It's a
Like,
miracle.
yeah.
It's a miracle. That's why it's a miracle. Just a miracle. Well, the story started though in March of that year. My stepdaughter was a Christian teenager, very tenacious young lady. And I was sitting in my office and I was thinking about, man, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna pay the bills. I've been in the farming business in the 70s. Carter was president. Interest was 18%, and I owed a bunch of money.
Really, 18%.
So we've been in the hog business, the cow business. I've sold everything that I had to sell, everything I could sell. I still owe like $70,000. 1986, that's a lot of money.
Right.
84. So anyway, I was sitting there mulling over all that. She comes in and she says, "You need to get saved." I said, "You need to get out." She came back the next day and said, "You need to get saved." I said, "You need to get out. I'm not talking to you." So all week she came in there and so I know I call that God's plan A for me. And so plan B was this other thing. So Tracy comes to the hospital. Her name was Tracy. So Tracy comes to the hospital. I'm in Mobile. And I'm dealing with all this, losing my arm and all that's going around me, the press, the doctors. And so she walks in the room, and I really had not comprehended this thing yet. It was still elusive to me. And so she came in and it came back to it. I told her my story. So she says in her tenacious way, "Well, that's why I told you why you need to say if you die of water, you're going to hell." And I said, "You're right. I agree with her." And but it was just a day. And so this is the other thing that was very strange. Of course, I said, "Well, I want to get right with the Lord. I want to make sure, because I think I was right." But anyway, I accepted Jesus as my Savior and did all the things you're supposed to do. She had this Bible with her. And so I said, "Where did you get the Bible?" She said, "I ordered this Bible for you 6 weeks ago."
Oh.
And we weren't talking about this at that time. And she said, "It came in the mailbox the day the alligator goods."
Oh.
So, it was just like everything was a miracle. Like everything pointed towards what we call the sovereignty of God. He decided he wanted me and he got me.
Yeah.
It wasn't up to me.
It took an alligator to get your attention.
So plan B was a tough plan,
Yeah.
So that's been my story. I've told it 10,000 times.
Yeah.
I still tell it. I go to churches all the time. I tell it. Actually, I was on the 700 Club with Pat Robertson one time.
Really?
Oh, really?
Man, I remember watching him when I was a kid.
In the early 90s.
Go ahead.
they came down after we went to Virginia Beach, and I was on the 700 Club, and then they came down a couple months later. We did a reenactment of it
Oh my goodness! Did you
on site.
on site?
Wow. That had to be a little bit traumatic.
You know, I've never had a problem with it.
Really?
Yeah, no,
That's
I'll
good.
tell you
Because
what.
I think it probably happened so fast.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, my knee surgery was a whole lot worse than Alligator's.
Anybody working up here?
No.
Right here? Okay. Thank you.
My knee surgery was a lot worse than Alligator. But, you know, I've always seen it as a blessing. And when I was going down to lose the back of that truck that day, I was dealing with that. I was thinking, you know, I lost my right arm, and I know my life's going to change. It's not going to be for the better, but I'm alive, and I got to be glad I'm alive.
Mm.
I made a decision that day. I was always going to be glad I was alive and not bitter because I lost one.
Yeah.
And that's the way I looked at it. You know, I had to slow down. You know, I started that company, ran it for 28 years. I do whatever I want to do most of the time that I can do. You know, something I can't do. Rode a bicycle for 25 years, every day. So.
It's kind of hard probably to do with one arm now.
I had some action.
And so it's kind of cool how you drew up this park, and at the end of your years, your legacy is this park's going to live on to glorify Jesus, and we're going to share your story for years to come about how God will get you plan A or plan B.
I'd take plan A. I don't like your plan B scenario.
Plan A, baby. Maybe I can come up and be part of that.
Yeah, we would love that. We would love to have
Yeah,
you come up and share.
We didn't plan on owning this RV park.
Is that right?
We didn't have any money.
Yeah.
We reached out we saw the event space, and we hosted RV events across the United States.
Yeah.
So we had sent an email and asked them would they be willing to work with us, and it's a whole God's testimony even to be to where we're at to actually closing next week. So.
And so then when we found out that our engineer
was the actual
was
person.
that guy, and what a testimony. So this park is going to share your story long after we're gone about how God.
Well, that's good.
Well, maybe we just need to get a replica of that alligator we put in here.
I've got a picture. I've got that picture.
Yeah.
This one,
A big
right?
picture of that.
Yeah.
We can make a big picture.
Oh, that'd be
That's-
great. We'll hang that in there because God's after people. He's here to seek and save everybody.
Well,
So
we got to spread the gospel.
absolutely, we're gonna go kayaking that river. That's why Todd was
Yeah.
like,
I was asking about
are there
alligators.
alligators in that river?
Yeah.
They haven't seen any alligators in years. In years, the only story that shows up.
Yeah, well, I don't think they're prevalent in the swamp.
So then, what they did is the way I can see it, it looks like the pipe drops right here. So we were like, could we put a small system here, put a tank in, and then put a small system?
But it also looks like it would be space for a whole field.
Yeah, a drainage field.
Yeah, I think I think you could do something here with this building.
And could then we take
This
that?
building
Yeah,
into
all these buildings.
and then
All
if I
buildings.
put the yard over there, it just all draws into this
Yeah.
field.
But the mound would have to go towards the woods over there.
Yeah.
Which is fine, or you recreate it can create a natural barrier because I want to get rid of that fence for the event space because my event space is going to go into the woods.
It's a pretty area once we clean out a lot of the brush and put some stuff in there.
Want to clean out a lot of there, put some tree houses in there, some glamping tents.
One of the indicators of wetland is hydric soil,
Is what?
Hydric soil?
which is an organic soil.
Okay.
You know, it's a black, sort of soft and puffy. You know, it's got a lot of, metabolized organics, which makes it soft like peat.
Want to do like
It does be really nice.
yeah, do like women's girls weekends when they come for a wedding because they use this a lot for a wedding. So I thought we'd do girls weekends in the woods. Let's get the golf cart and we'll go over and look at the other.
So many aspects that are happening all at once. But here's testimony. It's fun, isn't it? Such a blessing.
If it's getting up high.
Yeah, if it gets high, then it just drains in.
It's just draining in.
Well, I gotta get here, maybe drain in somewhere. I don't know. It's just find out.
Yeah, but for the amount of water that they're using on the monthly, there's no reason why this system would not be able to handle that.
Right.
We get the big buildings off of it, you know, and stop this infiltration.
Okay.
Yeah. Get the next step started.
Okay, well, I'll get those drawings to you.
Okay.
Okay. That'd be
We
great.
don't want to keep you longer, but we've enjoyed.
Yeah, that's great.
Should enjoy chatting.
Yeah, I gotta go meet a guy.
What time is it?
No idea. Yeah. Appreciate
Okay,
it.
we'll be in touch.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Well, that was like drinking from a fire hose with some amazing stories.
Yes.
So now we have a task list. The good news is it's not as bad as we thought. So that's
Right.
the good news.
The bad news is we've got to figure out what's the problem.
And we need to probably still do another smaller system for taking the event barn that was never planned for originally and some of these other things and maybe making a smaller field.
Well, and if we're gonna put out
Cabins.
My brain is on tilt. All
So-
the things.
You should like, comment, subscribe, and be a doer of all things, because the story is going to continue in I don't know what happens next.
I think this is kind of like the beginning of when we started RVing. We weren't quite sure how to do all the things. This is just in chapter 2.
It's something.
Or
and,
3
and
or
we still have
20
to meet you guys at events this year. So if you're wanting to come to one of our events, look on our website, goswitchitup.com. And then if you're wanting to come and hang out with us at Cypress Landing, I guess you can book a stay and come and hang out, because we're going to be here on and off to try to get some of these projects done. And who knows, we might put you to work. We got a lot to do.
So like, comment, subscribe, bring your work gloves, and let's get this done.
Yeah, poison ivy is just an extra. That's
Oh,
just
yeah.
extra.
It's free.
It's free. We'll make it up to you somehow. So maybe give you some food or something. Thanks for following along today. With that being said, we're going to sit here in the peace and quiet with the breeze under the porch, because it's so quiet here. It's just fabulous. And we'll catch you in the next one.